Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel and thank you for clicking on another video. Today I'm going to be doing a full glam bridal look. Starting off with my No Poreblem Prime Essence, I'm prepping my skin, and now I'm taking my Tarte Putty Primer and I'm using this to fill in the larger pores. I really want a smooth, full coverage look as if I am the bride today, so I'm making sure to pay attention to priming. Now I'm doing my first layer of foundation. This is the Born This Way foundation, and I'm using a stipple brush to blend everything out. Now going in with a second layer to build up coverage, I'm just making sure everything is smoothed out and blended. Now I'm taking my Fourth Ray concealer and I'm using this under my eyes. I really want full coverage and I want a lot of brightness. So I'm going to make sure to put excess underneath the eyes as well as on the lids and down the center of the nose. I'm using a sponge now to blend everything out, and then I'm going to use my brush to blend out the edges as well. Now I'm taking my Huda Beauty Tantour Contour Cream and I'm using a smaller stipple brush now to carve out my features. You always want to think of the number 3 when you are contouring. You always want to go around the hairline, around the jawline, and obviously you want to carve out those cheekbones. So you want to place that right in the hollow, and I like to go slightly upward on the cheek to give my face more structure. Now you can see me applying to the sides of my nose, and this is going to give my nose a more slender appearance. Now to brighten up the eyes again, I'm taking my Maybelline Age Rewind and a small concealer brush, and I'm just blending underneath the eye area, and I'm going to use a larger brush to blend out the edges once again. And this just continuously adds more brightness to the area, and I love how this ended up turning out. I usually don't do as much concealer, but I really did love how this turned out. Now I'm taking my Ben Nye banana powder with a fluffy brush, and I'm just applying this underneath the eyes. Now I'm carving out slightly the contour areas and brightening underneath around the jawline. Now I'm using the Tati Beauty Textured Neutrals palette, starting with the shade Aura Metallic, and I'm using this on the inner corner, and I'm using this also under the brow just to give a nice base of shimmer. And now I'm taking the shade Soothe Matte, and I'm using this for my transition and outer corner. Now this color, I'm just going to diffuse it into that shimmer that I put down and just really make sure that the edges are well blended and you don't see any lines. Now I am taking the shade Soothe Sequin, and this just is the same color, but it has a little bit of glitter in it, and I'm just using that to get a little bit closer into the crease and outer corner. And I'm blending that up as well. I just want this look to be very glowy and romantic. Now I am taking the shade Ritual Sequin and I'm applying that to the outer corner, and I just press that color in, and then I start making windshield wiper motions to blend it out, focusing it mainly on the outer corners as I build up the depth. The more layers you do, the more depth you're going to build to your look, and it's going to really make it a nice romantic smoky eye. Now again, to add more depth, I'm bringing in the Ritual in the matte shade, and I'm just pressing and blending that color on the outer corners and pulling it up and blending out whatever's left on the brush into that crease line. Now I am taking the shade Memory in matte, and I am pressing that on the very outer corner and making little swirling motions with the brush and kind of carrying that into the crease a little bit. Now you just need something with a flat edge. I'm using a little business card, and you want to angle that from the outer corner to the edge of your brow and flick the color into the crease. So I'm starting where the actual card is, and then I'm pulling that color in, and this is the shade Memory, that black matte shade again. Once you get your wings carved out, you're going to just take your brush and then fluff that color in and make sure there's no sharp edges anywhere, except for the actual wing line. Now I am taking the color Ritual again in the sequin format, and I'm just pressing that color on the outer corner into that black shade. I want it to take on more of a brown cast, so I'm using the black to add depth, but I really want the smokiness to come from the brown shades. So you can see me packing that on here, and it just gives it a little bit more of a brown tone. Now I'm taking the metallic Soothe shade and I'm applying this with a flat concealer brush. I did not conceal or carve out my crease, but I'm using the shimmer to do the job. I really like how this looks because it's not as harsh as a concealed cut crease, but it still gives you that look of brightness. Now I'm taking the shade Aura and I'm using this to brighten up the inner corner. Now I'm taking the shade Ritual Metallic and I'm using my fingers now to apply that where the brown met that gold shade that I just put down. I wanted to kind of have a transition in between those two colors, so this one was really nice. Now I'm going to use Soothe again in metallic and I'm just going to brighten that right on the lash line in the center, and that just seems to make the eyes really pop. Now I'm taking the metallic shade again and I'm using a flat brush to use Ritual along the lower lash line in metallic. Now I am taking the shade Ritual in the sequin and I'm using that to deepen and darken everything. Now I'm going to take the shade Memory in matte and I'm going to go right along my lash line and just sharpen up that wing and really give the eyeliner more of a smoky defined look. And now I'm just brushing that out and making sure everything is nice and blended. Using a flat brush, I'm now taking the matte black shade and I'm using this as my liner to do a smoky liner all along the top. This is probably one of my favorite ways to do eyeliner. It is quick, simple, and easy. You just let your lashes be your guide. Try to get as close to the lash line as possible and just blend that out on the outer corners. Now I'm blending Ritual in the sequin and matte formula and I'm just packing that on the outer corner again. Now I'm using Memory in matte to fill in my brows and just give a natural arch. I like to follow along my natural brow line and then just make it a little more arched and defined on the top. And now I'm using the shade Aura Metallic to highlight under the brow. Now for the lashes, I chose a very long, flirty, wispy lash. Whenever you're thinking bridal, you're thinking smoky, romantic, dramatic, extravagant, all those things rolled up into one. So I think these lashes definitely did the trick for this look. Now when you're applying your lashes, you want to make sure that you let your glue get nice and tacky before applying. Keep your eyes open and your head slightly tilted back. Then you're going to place the lashes right on your natural lashes and just push them in. Now I'm taking the glitter shade and this is the Soothe, and I'm taking a flat brush and just applying this on the inner corner. If you're not a glitter girl, you definitely have to try this. It really just adds so much to the look and gives you so much brightness and a little bit of drama as well. As you can see, I stopped about midway through the eyes. Now I'm taking my L'Oreal Lash Paradise and I am just lightly coating the top lashes to blend them into the falsies, and then I'm doing a nice liberal amount of mascara on the bottom. I really like to make my lower lashes long so that way it goes past the shadow that's there and just gives a little bit more detail to the eye look. Now I'm using a fluffy brush to brush away all the excess powder and really make sure that everything is nice and blended. I'm using the Butter Bronzer Trio palette and I'm using the middle and darkest shade to carve out my cheekbones. And I'm also going to go along the hairline as well as the jawline and the sides of the nose. So basically everything that we did with the cream products, we are just repeating now with the powder products. And this is just going to add more depth and dimension to your face and make sure everything is warm in the areas where it's supposed to be warm and bright in the areas where it's supposed to be bright. Now I am using a eyeshadow brush to contour out my lips, and I'm just taking the same bronzer and following along my natural lip line and blending it out. Taking my e.l.f. blush now, I am using a mixture of all 4 shades and I'm applying that to the apples and just fanning that out and applying any excess that's on the brush to the forehead, nose, and chin. Now I'm using my Morphe highlighter and I am highlighting the cheekbones as well as the center of the nose and the Cupid's bow. I really love doing this. I think it adds a lot of dimension for pictures and highlight. So you want to make sure that when you're thinking bridal, you're thinking glowy. Now I'm taking a nice neutral lip liner, and this is a Morphe liner in the shade Backseat Love. Whenever you're thinking bridal, I always think of a nice, beautiful, classic neutral lip. So I'm just using this to line my lips, and now I'm taking the cream lipstick from Morphe in the shade Wifey. And now I am using the Trippy gloss from Morphe as well, just to top everything off and give a nice, juicy, glitzy look to the lip. And now I'm just taking the liner again just to add some more definition to the top lip. And this is going to be the completed look. Please let me know what you guys think. I really enjoyed creating this look, and if I were a bride today, this would definitely be the look that I choose. It's romantic, it's dramatic, and it's beautiful, and it's going to photograph so well. Whenever you really take the time to layer and do the contouring and the powder and the setting, and you take those extra steps, it really does pay off, especially for professional photography. So I appreciate you. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. If you haven't yet, please click that subscribe button so you can see all of my upcoming videos. And I hope to see you on the next one. Take care and stay safe.